You're listening to VOP 90.3 FM. Joining us virtually right now is Dr. Babatunde Olariwaju, Certified Management and Business Growth Consultant. I'll be looking at recapitalization of banks and safety of deposits or depositors' funds. Welcome to VOP today. How are you? Hello, can you hear me? Doctor, can you hear me? Hello?
Madam Cordelia, good morning.
Hey, Doc, good morning. It's been a while. You disappeared.
No, I did not. Good morning.
So which one of us disappeared now? Because I've not seen you in a long while.
It's you that disappeared. I've always been around.
Today again. All right, so we'll just move on straight. You know, this issue of recapitalization has been, on the front burner for some time now, and we even saw banks making public offers, inviting people to come on board, maybe all in a bid to raise money and all that. Why was it necessary to recapitalize in the first place?
Okay, good morning, and good morning. It is necessary to recapitalize because it is not a new development in Nigeria financial markets or banking terrain. This is not the first time we'll be having recapitalization in the banking sector. It is necessary because the to increase public confidence in the banking sector is highly needed at this point in time. And also, most of these banks, they are operating in international markets. So you agree with me that considerably over the years, there have been a serious devaluation in the naira. So recapitalization will help them catch up, with the banks that are operating offshore branches. So recapitalization will also is an agenda of the Mr. President for a trillion economy by year 2030. So all of this, bringing all of this together, is to ensure that the economy is being boosted by the capitalization we are having in the banking sector at the moment.
Do you remember what the figures were before this one?
Yes, 2005, when Professor Charles Soludo was the CBN governor, the recapitalization for banks, for commercial banks, was 25 billion naira, from 2 billion naira to 25 billion naira.
Wow, that's a huge leap. Now that they're asking for this particular figure, about 220 or so, how many billion that they're looking at, what happens, because the dollar is still very volatile, what happens if there is still another dip? Does it affect the figure again, or is this now a standard figure that no matter what, this is what you should have?
Yes, you just said something now, volatile. Again, business environments have been so dynamic. Business environments have been so complex. Business environments have been so disruptive. So nothing is static at this point in time. But we hope that with the current recapitalization process, it will take some time before we should be talking about recapitalization in this country, because 500 billion naira is what the CBN is asking for commercial banks with international branches. Okay, while national banks should have 200 billion, the banks with regional branches should have 50 billion as their minimum capital base. So I believe with the current state of things, the capital base should be strong enough to hold the economy for maybe the next 6 or 7 years to come.
Okay. And how long do they have to do this? It all started sometime in March or thereabout. From now till when do they have the opportunity of having their bases solidified?
Okay, according to the CBN guideline, the announcement was actually made on March 28, 2024. There is a time lag of 2 years for them to do all of this, which will be ending by April 1st, 2026. So there's a 2024 calendar month for the banks to do this.
And with this, now they have enough time to maybe raise money and so on. What happens if between now and April 1, 2026, a bank is not able to catch up? What happens?
Okay. Basically, there are options available for this. Number one is through equity. It's either you raise more capital through IPO, that is initial public offer, or you raise additional capital through you raise capital through private placement. You can also raise capital through selling. No, I'm coming there. You can also raise capital through selling to the existing shareholder. That is rights issue. Okay, that's what I'm trying to recollect. Rights issues. Okay, those are the true equity. Then you can also do private placement. You can do and acquisitions. Then banks can as well do either you upgrade your license authorization or you degrade. If you cannot meet up, then you have to degrade your license authorization, probably from international banks to national or from national to regional.
Okay, so let's follow this the three things you just mentioned step by step, right? And you expand a bit on them. Let's start first with the injection of funds through private placements, rights issues, and or offers for subscription. Just break that down, how it works and how it involves the general public, the depositors of that said bank.
Okay, IPO is a process by which companies, not only banks, let me confine it to banks. And banks use to raise additional equity by selling of shares to new subscribers. That's different between the IPO now, initial public offer to new subscribers. Why a rights issue is you are selling. You are trying to raise additional equity by selling your share to existing, shareholders. Why private placement is you are reaching out to some, some big businessmen who have this, this capital to invest.
Who've never been in your bank before, who've never been there before, who've never been with you before. Hello?
Hello?
No, I was saying, you were differentiating something. You were talking about the one about rights issues, that is to those who are there. Then you talked about private placements. I was now asking, the private placement will be people who were not original shareholders, who'd never had shares with the company before. I was trying to ask if that would be the difference now.
Okay. Private placements who are top-notch entrepreneurs are businessmen who are, they have, interest, they have stakes in the bank. So they are bringing out, additional funds to augment the capital base of the bank. But this time it's not coming in the form of shares.
Aha. In the form of what then? Just liquid cash?
Equity contribution.
And when you say equity contribution, it could be what and what?
When I say equity contribution, I mean that they are bringing in more funds. They are injecting more funds to raise the capital base of the bank.
Okay, carry on, please.
Okay, so that's about the differences between, or the differences that exist between IPO, initial public offer, rights issue, and private placement. Then I also said mergers and acquisition. Mergers is a process of where two different companies or banks with a different identity, they come together, they agree to come together to form a new identity. That is merger. While acquisition is a process whereby one of the units has a better financial performances and other metrics you could think of to acquire a lesser one, to acquire the weaker organization. That is acquisition. Why merger is when two units are coming together to form a new identity for the purpose of carrying on the corporate organizations.
Okay, while we're still here, the mergers and acquisitions, we can take maybe samples from now. So if we say that of, is it what's the bank now? Two banks just merged recently. Their names just flew
Okay,
out of my head.
Unity Bank and Profidus.
Yes, those two just merged. In the case of the merger like that, who has the upper hand when those two banks come together, and what happens to the depositors?
The person that has the upper hand is a function of the bank's balance sheet. What the bank has as a capital base, what the bank has as the assets determines who has the upper hand. And whoever has the upper hand now is the one that is acquiring the weaker bank. So what effect does it have on the depositors fund? Depositor funds is still intact, is in safer hand. There are no issues about that. I mean, years back we had instance of Access Bank and a Diamond Bank. We don't hear about Diamond Bank today because Access Bank acquire outrightly, the share capitals of of Diamond Bank, and they were able to transition the depositors fund from Diamond Bank to the Access Bank. So there were no loss of revenue, there were no loss of funds by the depositors.
Okay, then for acquisition, a bank was recently acquired by another. People felt, okay, why didn't they give them the same lifeline as you gave to the two that merged? And an explanation was given to that effect. So in the area of acquisition, right, that bank is being sucked up by a bigger bank. In that situation, is it the same thing with the depositors and their finances and all that lodged in the bank that is being acquired?
Well, the process is a whole lot. At the initial stage, when it is identified that a particular bank A is going to acquire bank B, the process of transference and what have you would have commenced. So internal reconciliations and all those things, internal margin and what have you would have commenced, and they will successfully move or move the depositors fund from the outgoing bank or the weakened bank to the new ones. So it has no effect on the depositors fund or depositors money in the weaker bank.
Okay,
so it's a whole lot. That's why the CBN allowed that 24 months gap so that it can take care of whatever processes that are involved.
Okay, this is different from like what happened to a Heritage Bank, for instance, that practically went under, and they had to refund depositors their monies and all that.
Okay, that was contrary to what happened in the case of Heritage. Yes. Contrary.
Okay. All right, so we'll now move on to the third one: upgrade or downgrade of license authorization.
Okay, like I said, going by the current CBN circular, banks with international branches are to have 500 billion naira as their capital base, national commercial banks 200 billion, regional commercial banks 50 billion, merchant bank 50 billion, the non-interest bank, the ones on the national basis 20 billion, the ones on regional basis 10 billion. So these are the license categories or authorization. So during this process of recapitalization, any bank that cannot meet up with the CBN requirements to upgrade or to upscale their capital base can either fall from international commercial banks to national, or from national to regional, or from regional to whichever less category it can fall into.
So I'd like to know, I've always wanted to know this though, the difference now between the commercial bank, merchant bank, and non-interest bank, because we see here that they all have their requirements when it comes to recapitalization, and it also helps us to understand why one is more than the other. So commercial bank, merchant bank, and non-interest bank.
Okay, commercial banks are banks that are established for the primary purpose of accepting of deposits from the members of the public. They also conserve the deposits. They also make loans and advances available for the members of the public based on their guidelines or standards. Why merchant bank they are bankers banks, or alternatively, they are banks that are set up to cater for businesses, to fund businesses, to give loans and advances to businesses. While the non-interest banks are banks that are set up based on the principles of Islamic banking, which means that they are not really charging interest for all the advances and loans they give to the members of the public. So it is a bank that is run according to the principles of Islamic banking.
Thank you very much for clearing that. We'll now move on to the area of the implication of the policy, the recapitalization policy. Does it have any, what do you call it now, any implication? Or what are the implications? Positive, negative?
I think across all thresholds, the implications are positive. The implications are positive. Positive in the sense that if we look at it from the macro economy perspective, it is positive because it's going to make the economy more stable because of the inflation rates, the inflation rates, because of what is happening in the international markets, because of the exchange rates, because of all those variables that we can think of. So banks will have more funds in their force to give to business people, for individuals, to do some economic activities. So it will boost the economy of the Nigerian markets. It will make the funds more available to people to do businesses. Then for what I have heard people talk about in this present recapitalization is the fact that it's a bit different from the kinds we've been having in the time past, because in this present one, according to the CBN guidelines, retained earning was deducted from the shareholders fund, which so many professionals and the like minds in the industry have been talking about. Then there's also capital adequacy ratio that is being set, that whichever bank that is going to pass through the eye of the needle must have a particular in its balance sheet.
Okay, please, you have to say that again, please. The line disappeared. We'll have to have a particular something balance sheet. I didn't hear what came in between.
Okay, I was saying that by and large, the effects of the recapitalization we are having is to ensure that we have a robust, we have a robust financial, market. We have a robust, macroeconomics variables working well. Because when the banks are well grounded in capital base, it's going to help the business environment and all that, because of the reasons that interest rate is on the high side, inflation rate is on the high side, and naira has been depleted over time. So if a bank is not well capitalized, it will find it difficult to compete, even to do business that involve volumes, and also it will be difficult for the banks to do business comparatively with, in the international markets. So that is why it is needful in a time like this to recapitalize the capital base of the banks. I just said that one or two things I've had professionals or the banking communities made mention in the recent time is the fact that this particular recapitalization process is quite different from what we've been having in the time past, because in this particular one, the CBN insisted that retained earnings must be excluded from shareholders fund. That is number one. Then number two, that capital adequacy ratio, there was a set limit for capital adequacy ratio for any banks that is going to fly through or skip through the recapitalization process that has begun.
So this now, with this making the foundation stronger, would it be an attractive thing to foreign investors? Will they get more confident? Will they have more confidence in coming in to make investments, especially in the sector?
Definitely, the essence of the recapitalization is to boost the confidence of investor or public as touching banking, banking sector in Nigeria. So I am of the view that it's going to boost the confidence of whoever that wants to do business with, in Nigeria, and the entrepreneurs or business.
Hello? Hello? All right, that just stripped off there. Again, we apologize.
Business people that are doing business with the bank.
All right, the line is
It's going
stripping
to
off.
boost, their confidence level.
Okay, the line was stripping off. Please, if you can take your last train of thought again. The line was disappearing. Sorry about that. Okay, Tazu. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello?
All right, the line
Hello?
disappeared. When you were giving us your last train of thought, the line disappeared. If you can take that last bit again.
Okay, you asked me if it's going to boost the confidence of investors, and I said I believe
external investors, foreign investors.
Yes, foreign investor is going to boost the confidence of foreign investors to do business, in Nigeria, because of the fact that we are trying to, beef up, scale up our operational, standard by this recapitalization.
Okay, so we move over now to the banks themselves. We've talked about the depositors, the fact that their funds are safe, no need to worry. In fact, it's going to make it even better for them. When two banks come together, or when another bank acquires another, that means you have a staff strength that may just be bigger than what you had before or are expecting to have. In such a situation, how safe will be the employment, or how safe will be the employed staff? Do they tend most times to be let go, or there is a seamless fusion of staff?
Well, there is seamless fusion of staff, but the truth remains that there is no way probably the new bank, that is in the case of merger now, will be able to absorb the staff strength of these two federating banks that are coming together. It will be too much, for them. They won't be able to accommodate that. Even in the case of acquisition too, it's not feasible. So at the end of the day, you discover that some staff will be laid off. But there's no way the banks will be able to absorb entirely the total number of personnel that are involved in these two federating banks.
So they become like collateral damage.
Well, some people are going to be affected negatively.
So how do we as a people come together to mitigate that? Has the government had anything put in place to ensure that you're not pushing people out into the job markets, adding to their in quotes the struggling masses?
Well, over time, this has been one of the challenges of either merger or acquisition, or when recapitalization happen, that people tend to lose their jobs, and they go back to labor markets and all that. They start scouting around for jobs and all that. To the best of my knowledge, recapitalization has not made any provision for anyone that loses his job during the process of recapitalization, that probably the person should be, given some, ransom or some amount of money to take care of himself or family, pending when the person will find a new job. I don't think there is any such provision for now.
That's a difficult one, because one moment you have a job, the next moment you don't have a job. But I think they probably have enough time till 2026. Do you think is right to let people who may not stay after all know now? So between now and 2020 themselves together. What do you think?
Well, I think 24 months is a whole lot of a time for banks that might likely be acquired by a bigger bank. They should be giving signals. They should be, letting people know that it's an open door program, it's an open door policy. They should let their employees know that in the eventuality they are going to downsize. They are not going to be absorbed by the new bank that is acquiring them. So I think it's a good development if the banks can be honest enough to educate or to inform their workforce that quite a number of them are going to be disengaged due to the process of recapitalization.
And a lot of this revolves around the dollar. The way the dollar has made a lot of changes occur here in the country. Most of them maybe not positively. I don't know how to put that. How do we now deal as a people, the dollar itself? Is there a way we can go back, if not completely, to the way things used to be? Is there something that could be done? Because here now we have the banks, they have to recapitalize to be able to catch up with, in quotes, the level of the dollar dominated society right now. So how do we help to bring ourselves back to where we were versus the dollar?
Okay, I listened to one analyst and he said that some years back when we had recapitalization like we're having it now, that a dollar was the estimate was 125 naira to $1. That was maybe 2005 or so. And if you look at the recapitalization then, it was 25 billion, which translated to 200,000 US dollars. So, but because the naira keeps losing its value because of continuous devaluation and all that, so that is why it looks as if in fact, this is one of the reasons why this recapitalization is happening, because of naira devaluation. Okay, how do we go back to where we were coming from? How do we get it right? How do we get it right? It's only in when we can, because the reliance on dollar is out of this world. Everything we do is dollarized, like rightly said. We live so much on importation, where you have to change naira to dollar to bring in items. So the demand for dollar or demand on dollar is quite on the high side. People in Nigeria that are they have so much falling in love with foreign items, foreign goods and all that. There are some people that they can't even make do with locally manufactured items. They want to buy foreign ones. They believe foreign articles are better than the ones that are made in Nigeria. So all these put together is placing so much pressure on the dollar. People sending their children to go and school abroad, making payment for school fees in dollar and all that. So all these are placing so much pressure on the dollar. So it's making the demand to go up. So as long as we are having the demand for dollar to go up without having the corresponding supply being matched up with it, it will keep going up, and it will keep going up.
And you just referred to something that I must say a lot of the elites may just be guilty of. In fact, even the everyday Nigerian may be guilty of this, because there's this love for things that are not manufactured here, the love for that which is not Nigerian. Do you think we'll ever be able to get that love back, go back to buying Nigeria, using Nigeria, and living in quotes Nigerian? Because those who are leading, for instance, let's start from the presidency. The new car we're seeing with the president, it's not made in Nigeria. Are we saying that if, let's say, specification had been given to an innocent or any of these other companies here in Nigeria, are we saying that they couldn't have been able to give him something like what he has? You understand what I'm saying? So this using Nigeria and all that, how do we re-imbibe this beginning from the top?
Yes, policy making, policy implementation, policy monitoring. I think there is need to make that kind of a public policy that that will forbid our unnecessary hunger for foreign articles, foreign, you want to buy shoe, you go for foreign shoe, you want to buy slippers, foreign slippers, you want to buy clothes, foreign clothes. What happens to the one they are making locally here? Okay, our excessive desire for foreign, made goods is one of the issues that is keeping us where we are today. You made mention of, the car assembly. Not only that, I think we have another one that just started operation of recent. What is wrong if the presidency or the executive, they are patronizing these people? The demand for dollar would have reduced drastically. Instead of packing naira, converting to dollar, and be buying, all these products or the vehicles from automobiles from international markets, we can be patronizing our locally made here that can match up with any foreign automobiles anywhere. But because of the mindset that people have in this country, it's making us to lose focus on developing our own economies.
So now is a case of us going back to our roots and starting from there and working up, no matter the position we be in the country. But one is finding it that like an Herculean task, because those in power right now do not seem to understand what the time is saying. And so we still have members of this house and that house still buying expensive cars, as we just said, none of them from within, everything sourced from abroad. We still have the challenge with our fuel, also revolving around the issue with dollars and so on. Can we ever have that re-engineering of our psyche as a people? Do you think that is something that could ever happen again?
It can happen if the executive decide that they want it to happen. It can happen. It all starts with the policy. Putting a policy in place that will discourage, going for foreign articles, foreign wares, foreign automobiles and all that, and implement those policies and sanction whoever that defaults. It's as simple as that. But it's just that they are not honest with what they claim they are doing. Because I see no reason why one will leave his economy, to suffer setback, and you are promoting another person's economy. It's a downfall. Such a person is wishing his own economy or his own self downfall. So it's an issue of policy formulation, policy implementation, and policy evaluation to see that what they put on track to do, they actually actualize it.
Okay, let's go back to the banks now, and we'll be taking Heritage Bank as our case study. Now, they've started making payments to their depositors, and not exactly the total sum of what they have. They started with a 5 million payback system for now. Where do you think that is eventually going to end? Do you think people will be able to get back their money? All the monies they have in there, will they be able to get the monies back? And how can we operate? What can we do to ensure that which happened to Heritage Bank and its customers doesn't repeat itself in this kind of economic weather we're under right now?
Okay, every commercial bank is expected to insure depositors' funds with NDIC, Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation. So in an event where any bank fails, probably due to recapitalization, liquidation, or what have you, so NDIC now is the one that is charged with the responsibility to ensure that a depositor is being reimbursed.
Hello?
NDIC is the one that is charged with the responsibility that depositors' fund is being reimbursed.
Okay. I heard that. I thought the line disappeared. NDIC, yes, is the one in charge of that. And I'm still looking at the area of completion of payments, because the 5 million is just the starting point for some people. And there are people who have way more than that in the banks. For such people, what is the process NDIC would usually follow to give them their monies back?
I think it might not going to be immediate. It's a process that will take some time, but I believe with time, NDIC we ultimately they will ultimately reimburse the depositors who had money in that field bank.
After maybe selling their assets, properties, and all that. That is a part of the
First,
process, yeah.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, okay. Let's move on now to the other bit of this conversation that we have: the process of funds recovery by affected depositors in any Nigerian bank. What is usually that process? Because I've had people ask me, how do I get my money out? I know they'll usually print something. There'll usually be an announcement, do this, do that. Let's just pretend that those people didn't hear that. Let's just give a little rundown of what the person could do to get their money out of a bank. It could be a money stuck in there. Maybe you are the next of kin. You're trying to get a beloved one's money after maybe they passed on. It could be a case of, okay, this bank I don't think is behaving well, or it has gone down. I want my money back. In Nigeria, generally, what is the process of achieving that? Because it's easy to pay the money into the bank. To get it back and no one do again sometimes can become a problem.
Well, for a next of kin whose his parents or his person probably died prematurely and the fund is trapped in the bank, there's a process for that, which is quite different from when a bank is being liquidated. Then you have to get your funds. There's a separate another process for that. So I think for the first one, which is maybe the untimely death of the owner of the funds now, and the next of kin comes around to claim the funds. It's a whole lot that are involved in that process, because first and foremost, the bank does not know that the next of kin exists. Okay. It may exist on paper, but they don't know the person. They don't know him in person. So it's a whole lot of processing. Maybe they may ask him to bring a letter of this, letter of that, signed and sanctioned by the lawyer, and the process has to go on and go on and go on. Most especially if the person who owns the fund originally did not have a documented records before he passed on that he was transferring his money in the bank to the stated person. It might be very, very difficult for that person to have access to the funds. So there are so many funds that are trapped in the bank today whose the family of the deceased do not know that their person had such an amount of money in the bank.
There was a case recently when the banks were talking about making use of the funds in dormant accounts. How did that play out? Do you have any idea?
The funds in the dormant account, yeah, like the owner of that account may have probably died or something happened to him, and banks do not get to hear from him, and the family of that person too. They don't even know that such a person was having such an amount of money in the bank. So it happens that way. It will be in the bank vault.
So I'm sure you're listening now. Nobody's praying that anybody should die. No, that's not the case. It gets to a point where maybe somebody is not able to go to the bank by themselves as a result of maybe illness or something, and you need a next of kin to do that for you. Who is your next of kin? Do you even have somebody? Do they even know you have an account here or there? Do they even know that you even have money that you even have to put somewhere? As you're listening to the program, you're hearing that it can be really very difficult for you to get that money out. So please have a proper record of that account, and let somebody know who to call or who could collect that money on your behalf. Am I right to say that, Doc?
Yes, you are very right, very right. So many funds are tied down in the bank that are belonging to some individuals who are no more, and their families do not even have. They cannot even have the traces of the money.
That's very sad. Anyway, you could also contribute to this conversation if you have a question to ask. I'm hoping if is it comrade, you know yourself, I'm going to say your story now. Comrade, if you are listening, if you could call, and if you're listening though, and share with us the process you passed through. You eventually told us that you got your money from Heritage Bank, the payouts and all that. We congratulate you for that. If you have a question to ask about your funds in the bank, next of kin and stuff like that, would answer those who are able to answer, because Doctor is very much here with us, and he will be sharing answers with us concerning the questions you'll be sharing. Now, I've been wondering, everywhere you go to, going back to recapitalization, you see billboards, you see this bank asking you to come take a slice of the cake. Another one maybe is asking you to come collect a cup, this and that. They were all busy throwing out their shares as if it was Christmas. Was it desperation that was causing that? Was it fear? Why were they all doing it at the same time? Do you have an idea?
Yes, I do have an idea. The thing is, really, going by the ranking of the commercial banks, even the banks that are well stacked with capital, they are still part of this process of recapitalization that we are talking about. I think they are just preparing for yet unforeseen development in the banking terrain. That is why you see them, they are part of this. Like, for instance, there are some banks now that presently their capital base is over 500 billion.
Wow.
But you still see them in the stock market. They are raising additional equity.
But why?
Yes, they are beefing up for still yet unforeseen development that could come up in the Nigeria financial market. Again, like I said, the issue of retained earnings that was excluded by the central bank guidelines, it could also be an issue. For instance, a bank may post 800 billion naira as the capital base. In that capital base, the retained earning may be maybe 500 or 400 billion naira. Okay, so meaning that if they take the retained earning of 400 billion naira from the 800 billion capital base, they have not met the deadline yet. So they need extra 100 billion naira to go. That may be the reason why one or two banks are in the capital market to raise additional equity.
Okay, 0700 903 903 903, the number you could call right now. 0700 903 903 903. You could ask a question concerning what we're talking about, or share your own experience if you've had any such experiences, and also if there's something else you would like to know about in the area of your financials. I'm sure you can ask, because our guest is well able. Dr. Olariwaju is well versed in the area of growing businesses, financial analysis, and all that. He could walk you through this and that if you have the time to just ask that question. The number again is 0700 903 903 903. We'll be looking at this issue of there's this one here that is pending that I think we should also tackle. Why do some banks get to have lifelines and some don't have lifelines? I'll come to that right after this one. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. My name is Edidio.
Okay, welcome, Adidio.
I'm calling from Ekbeda.
All right, welcome.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Your question now.
Yeah. My question is that if someone mistakenly transfer money to a person and the money enters some other person's account by the reason of missing one number of the account number, and you went to bank to lay complaint, they say go to the bank, and you go to the bank, they will say go back to your bank, and they will not do something about it, and the money will just go like that.
Okay, so the question is?
The question is, why the bank will not help person to retrieve that money back to
From that account?
Yes,
Okay.
to that account.
Okay, thank you. I got that. Hey, Doc, did you get that? Hello, Doc.
To pry into a third party information. It's against the ethics of the bank.
So that means that money has entered voicemail or what?
The best bet is probably if the person can go to the bank where he made the transaction. But I'm very sure there is no way they can pry. They can't go beyond that because it's against the ethics in the banking.
So the long and short of that is just pay more attention when you're doing that.
Yes.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's sad. Okay, let's take your call. Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? What's your name?
Not bad, my dear. It's Joe from Bariga.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Please, I noticed something. Somebody is usually coming to me.
Okay.
All his transaction alert is all coming to my phone. So I went to Zenith Bank. That guy is from Zenith Bank. I went to Zenith Bank and complained that, look, this person's alert is coming to my phone.
Another person, totally different person.
Different person entirely. And I went to Bagada, where I live. I went and complained. They take it, they said they have escalated. The lady said, I have escalated it, okay, you can go. Up to 2 months now, nothing has been done about it to separate it. Let it not come to my account again. I'm suspecting whether these boys, they want to use it to do something bad.
They used your number.
Please, I would like him to explain to me.
Okay, hold on now before you go. Mr. Joe, before you go, the money that you used to see the alert is it big money? Big money?
No, yes, small money. You know, the person is like this.
The person is like a ladder.
It's learning petty cash. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 is coming to my alert.
That is why the person hasn't noticed. That's why the bank says, oh, you are disturbing us, I beg. All right, he will answer you. Now, I'm the one speculating, it's me, it's not the bank. Okay, you heard that, Doc.
Big money.
Okay, let Doctor answer now. All right, Doc, go ahead.
Okay, the problem from Mr. Joe's question, I think it borders on our telecommunications carrier, the MTN, the Glo, and probably they must have registered 2 users or 2 subscribers with 1 number. It may mean that the person he is talking about also has his SIM card registered with the same PUK. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes, with the same number. It happens. Maybe there's a mix-up in their database and what have you. You discover that 2 different persons, they are having the same telephone number. So all the information of that person will be entering his own phone.
Wow.
All the information, maybe banking information, what other information that the person is supposed to be getting. It may even be duplicated. As he's getting it, it's also going to another person's. So I think it's something that can be handled by the network provider. So he needs to go there and
What if when the person was filling in his number, that's the other person, maybe just 1 missed digit is what is causing the problem? When he was writing down SMS for bank alerts, that could also be a problem, part of the problem.
Yes, it could be. It could be. So the person needs to probably go to, but primarily I think it's from because I discovered something like 2 months ago. Someone started calling me from Abuja and he made mention of one security outfit. He said he wanted to speak with the MD of that security outfit. I said, I'm not the one. And he kept on calling. Then I asked him, why do you still keep calling me? He said, because that was my number is what that security outfit asked. He had to screenshot. I had to go online. I Googled the name of the security firm and I saw that in actually the security firm or outfit was having my number as their business line. How about that?
Well, again, I think maybe that security firm, Devil Sprinter, could have been that problem. Maybe 1 missed number. Did you still speak with them? Have they made the correction, or is it still the same thing?
I couldn't reach out to them. So I believe it's from network provider, like I said, because I had a similar issue some years back that when my SIM card was stolen, then I went to the MTN office to do welcome back. When they logged into their system, they said they saw the details of one particular woman whose details are onboarded on my line. Then I said, this my line, I've been using it for more than 15 years. How come? So it took them a longer time before they can, they could separate me from the.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
sometimes the mix-up could be from them.
Okay, so in case they call you again for that agency, you just speak now. Just say you have reached our line. Yes, but we're not gonna work today. Call tomorrow. That could be very annoying. I had the similar case where a lady kept calling me. She insisted that that was the chief's number. When I kept telling her, the next thing it entered insult. She started insulting me. That, you this wicked woman, you don't want me to speak with chief, eh? Has he seen me see trouble? We actually had to beg the woman that this is not that person's number before she eventually stopped. So somehow I think maybe the network too, Mr. Joe, visit the network provider to ask them to check that line to see if something has gone awry with your number so they can also rectify it. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Mr. Martin.
All right, welcome. Go ahead.
Please, I want to ask just a different question. I have a share, my pension is paid into Standard Alliance. So they have been paying me every month they pay me. For the past 3 years, now they have not paid me. And I've gone everywhere in Lagos. Lekki, anywhere they Google, I cannot find them. I'm just trying whether I can get the address where they are still alive or not.
Standard Alliance.
2 years ago, sometime 2 years ago, they asked me to go to the bank one. They want to liquidate the insurance company. They gave me a name where to go in VI Koi. I went to number 5 to 7 and I saw the people. They say they are on court case with them. After a long period, I've been going there since until last year, early last year. They say those people have won the case. Standard Alliance have won the case. So they have even, they are not going to liquidate it. And I asked them, please, can you give me the address of where these people are living? So I say, they say they don't know. Till today.
Okay. All right.
I can't find them. Standard Alliance Insurance.
Standard Alliance Insurance. Doc, is there a body?
My pension money, my pension money.
Yes, you just mentioned Pencom. Have you gone to Pencom?
Yes.
You should go to Pencom. I think Pencom is the body in charge. You this one, I know this one. Go to Pencom and make your okay. I'm listening. I'm listening, sir.
You know what happened? Well, initially my money was paid to armed pension. You understand? From where I work, and work in United, transfer to Transcorp. So that armed pension, we're paying me low. So somebody now advised me that the insurance pays higher. So I moved my money from that armed pension to that place. So armed pension, I've gone to them. They told me that they have no business with me again. That they have taken my money out. You understand?
Okay.
Although
well, just hear me, sir. Go to Pencom. Go to Pencom. Dr. Lariwaju, right? Or what should he? Yeah. What do you think?
Yes, for that purpose, this pension fund management, we have the custodians and the administrators.
Hang up, hold on. Hang up and listen via your phone. Hang up and listen via your phone, your radio. Thank you. All right, carry on, Doc. Sorry about that.
Okay, in pension management, there are two bodies that are involved primarily. That is pension fund custodians and administrators. Okay, this Standard Alliance, at the point where they were maybe closing their shop, custodians and administrator would have taken over from them. Probably he didn't know, or he was touched, to know which of the custodians, pension fund custodians or pension fund administrator who are taking over from the Standard Alliance. So all he needs to do, he can also Google pension fund administrators, or like you rightly said, you can still go to Pencom. But the pension fund administrator and custodian, they are more closer to people than Pencom. You understand? They are an institution that is being established by Pencom to manage, to administer people's pensions. So you can Google pension fund administrator, any closest office. You can walk up to them and make this his complaint known to them. I'm sure they'll be able to help out.
Okay, thank you very much. So you heard that. Google the fund administrators. They'll be able to tell you what to do next. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good morning, Lady C.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Mark Akaja from Okota.
All right, we are welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. There's something I noticed on my account yesterday. I send a certain amount to my account. So I was credited half of that money. Then the other half, they credit to the larger balance. I don't know what that one means. I've never collected any loan from that account.
Have you gone to your bank? Did you go to your bank?
Yeah, I went there this morning. Yes, I went there this morning. They send a message to the board in charge of that larger balance. They said I should wait. I'm waiting there. I keep on waiting there this morning. Nothing has been done. I said let me come back and hustle for my children. So I don't know what will be the cause. I want that man to help me and address it. Please.
Okay, so you're saying you paid some money into you sent some money
my account.
And
into my own account.
And they split it into two? Yes?
Yes, they split into two. Send one to ledger balance, the other one to my account. I was able to withdraw the one inside my account. The other one, when I wanted to withdraw, they say insufficient balance, which okay. I have money there.
You said ledger, right? The ledger.
Yeah, ledger balance. I've never collected loan from the bank. I've never received unexpected credit. They have never credited unexpected. I don't owe anybody money. I don't know why they should send that one to the ledger balance.
Okay,
please,
thank
if you can adjust that for me.
All right, thank you. All right, Doc. I'm sure you don't understand that. Thank you. You can listen via the radio. Thank you.
Okay, my understanding about that is that usually banks they maintain two balances. They call one available balance and they call the other one ledger balance. Okay, the money that is credited immediately to your accounts will come to available balance, but the one that is still pending credits or it has not dropped, it is pending to drop, it will reflect in your ledger balance. So I wouldn't know why the money is being held in its ledger balance and not available balance. So probably I think he needs to go to his bank and make this complaint.
He has made the complaint. The bank said he should wait. Maybe you just wait a bit, sir. When they explain to you, you please let us know what they said. Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, sir?
It's Mr. Desmond.
All right, welcome, Desmond. Go ahead.
Thank you. My complaint and my question is my family this morning. How do all the customers in Heritage Bank got their money? My branch in Oshodi, that charity along Airport Road, have not been operating for 30 days. Last time that I made that announcement, my ATM is not working. How do we get our money in Heritage Bank? Because I know NDIC supposed to pay us our money without they don't get penny from it. That is why they told us we are safe with any Nigerian bank as far as NDIC is concerned.
Did you fill forms when they said people should make their request known? Did you fill any form? Did you go to the bank to apply for anything? Did you go to NDIC? What have you done?
When we got the information, it just we prompt into that news. When we now get to that, the bank is not working up to now. And I've not done anything because I expected NDIC to have our information without giving us stress in going to anywhere. The only thing what they would do is us go to your bank branch. Or if you have the ATM, activate those ATM, we take our money from the ATM. In Europe, we don't go to queue when the bank is folding up. They know how to do it seamless, stress-free. I don't know why ours is becoming so hectic when these things happen like this. We pay this money with ease. We open the account with ease. Now we need to be able to they need to pay us with ease, not stressing us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Well, objectively, the only government body or institution that can reimburse depositors' fund is NDIC. So I think I'm not aware where their office is in Lagos, but for people who have similar issues, the best bet is to approach NDIC because they are the institution, organized, formulated, established by government to ensure that in the case of eventuality, people's deposits are being, returned to them. So it's like an depositors insurance company. So they are the one that's supposed to reimburse all these people whose monies were trapped in a heritage bank.
Now, if you're listening and you've been able to get your money back, I really would love it if the comrade could call. Let him share with us the process that he followed. And I do remember somewhere when they were talking about there are some forms. Okay, they say, okay, I have something here now that you have to file. Yes, file online claims by visiting the NDIC website claims page on www.ndic.gov, that's gov.ng/claims/claims. Download and fill the claims forms and upload the required documentation. Verification and payment of creditors. Creditors are advised to visit the nearest branch of the bank and to file their claims or via the online platform. So maybe you could just do that for also online. Visit NDIC website. There is a claims page. On that claims page, download and fill the claims forms and upload the required documents. Right, sir, try that which I just said to you while you also look for the NDIC office. Okay, we're gradually coasting to the end of this segment, and I hope that so far some of the answers or the answers you're getting will help you one way or the other. While we're moving on, is check your time, 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, your name?
Osho. I'm Osho Patience.
Hello,
from
Osho.
Ayobo.
Hold on, I need to ring a bell for you. All my girls get bells. All my girls get bells.
Thanks.
All right, go ahead.
I like the topic you had chosen this morning.
Thank you.
First bank are charging me so, in fact, so that I don't even know what to do. I will transfer 40,000. They will give me debit of 652 naira charges. They said maintenance charges and all that. I don't know. Maybe they can be able to help me rectify the problem.
I heard it. They did it once, twice, 3 times, and you're still sitting in your house. You didn't go to them. They are
distressed. I don't like passing stress.
You see, my God is a good God. I don't see vision for nothing. You see, every step you are taking, you are showing me that you're a big woman. You don't like stress. Be there now. Be there. My guy, tomorrow go to the bank closest to you, the FBM bank, and ask them what the issue is. I'm sure they'll be able to run some diagnostics and all that. Then call us back and tell me what you told. If they don't do the right thing, then from there we'll start calling their name and their branch manager down to their father's children. We'll call out their names already. We will drag them.
Thank you.
Remember to give me a feedback, okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye. Okay. We'll be wrapping up shortly. So, Doc, I'm back to you now. As we are going through this, you've heard complaints about the sector experiencing and so on. Can Nigerians truly have confidence in the finance sector, the banking sector, with all these deductions and all that? It got to a point people were beginning to keep their monies in their house because you can't withdraw more than a particular amount every day. What's going on? What's on with that? Okay, you'll answer that, but let me take this as the last call. Hello, how are you? Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Oh God, why did you call me Kode? Why?
Okay, what's your name?
Lady
Please?
C. Kode is for the ones who are in the village. I'm in the city. In the city is either Delia, Cordelia, Delia, or Lady C. Come on, man.
Okay, come on, lady. Call the Lily.
You're a troublemaker. What's your name and what's your question?
My name is Babu. I'm calling from Oje.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, you see, the last caller said
she deposited 40,000 and not 600 and something out of the money. That has been done 1, 2, 3 times. She has never gone to bank to know why this money is being deducted from her account. I'm not saying she's telling lies though. How far is that true?
She's not, oh, she's not. Don't worry, she will give us feedback. Now you will hear. You will hear.
Good. No, I trust you. I know you. I know you will take the matter up from there. And two, I would like you to bring most of these bank managers, directors, and whatsoever. The charges they give to us upon our own money is too much. It is getting from communication and all the rest. They don't charge us anything. Why should bank be charging us for ATM machine, charge us for the they give us their, charge us for toilet, for their fees? Why? Why all this?
Okay, so all right, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we'll try and get who we can get to come on board, but most times they dodge because maybe they know it's that they do. Thank you so much for your call and have a beautiful day. All right, so Doc.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good day.
All right. Take care. Doc, all right, so you heard what I was asking. You just heard this now. All the countless, uncountable deductions and so on. You can't withdraw money more than 20K or so every day. Why are we ever going to be confident in our banking sector, financial sector again? What is going on?
Okay, coming to the limit on the amount of money one can withdraw in a day, that is in consonance to cashless policy. So it has nothing to do with probably the demerit or the disadvantage.
Doc, don't be angry. Let me step in. Cashless policy, but the POS has money. The banks and ATMs will not have money, but the POS would have money.
Yes,
we feel it's just dodgy. We feel it's just dodgy. I join people who believe that it's dodgy. And again, Doc, is it not people who have money you tell to go cashless?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said, is it not where you have enough money you'll be telling people go cashless? People are struggling to make ends meet.
But it's for the good of all. Like the cashless policy has really helped the economy in a very large landscape, because gone are the days where you have to be moving around with cash and all that. With your ATM and with your Android phone, you can do transfer. Even the people that are selling sundry items or of 1,000, 2,000 naira, they accept transfer and all that, which has been the face of things in the last 1 year or 2 years that we had cashless policy in place. But that does not totally mean that the banks are doing what is expected of them, because you discover that when you go to the bank, they don't usually load the ATM machine. But when you go to the street, you want to use you want to withdraw from the POS operators, they have some run with 1 million, 2 million naira cash, start in them. And from what we've gotten so far is that most of the bankers, they are the ones behind these businesses. Most of them, you discover that they have 1 or 2, 3, 4 POS shops where they employ people to run the show for them. But then coming to the confidence in the banking sector, I know there are still issues, there are still itches here and there, but that do not demean the fact that we are going to get it better. And that is why the management of the apex banking in Nigeria is saying that let's step up the game to ensure that the recapitalization is done in order to boost the confidence of not only Nigerians and also the foreign investors that may want to come into the country to do business in Nigeria.
And finally, this will be the last because we have to go now. How do we help ourselves as a people? Because you see this cashless policy thing you just talked about. I'm basically cashless. I don't like touching those notes because a lot of them are filthy. But then we have the challenges of the network. You go, maybe you finish buying food. Like me, I tell you, collect your money before I touch this food. Network issues and all that. How are we going to overcome that challenge in 30 seconds?
Okay, the government parastatal that is in charge of network communication and all that, I think they are also doing the much they can do to ensure that we have stable and reliable interconnectivity, in all this. When you are making your transfer, cash transfer, transfer, mobile money transfer and all that. So that segment of the economy is also working, hard to ensure that there is a strong network connectivity in that regard. But I will tell you as I close that cashless has really helped us. You remember then, if you want to collect money from someone, you have to travel probably from mainland to island because you want to go and collect 10,000 naira or 20,000 naira check. But these days, from the comfort of that person, you just transfer the money to you and you are getting it. It has saved you because it has saved you the time for you to have been on the road traveling to see the person, the cost and all that. It has been totally fixed out. So yes, it has come to stay, and we are going to get improved on it as time passes by.
Thank you very much, Dr. Babatunde Olariwaju, for your time. You've really proven your certified management and business growth consultancy status. Thank you for sharing your time, your knowledge, and everything with us today. And I'm sure we'll be doing this again very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a beautiful day. I'm Cordelia. Thank you for being a part of the program today. I'll see you again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Till then, do take care of yourself. Temitope Oyefolo has been with me, and you've been listening to. And again, we thank very much Dr. Babatunde Olariwaju for his time. All the tips you've been given, please try and utilize them. Those who need to give feedback later, please try and give back those feedback so I'll know how far your work and trying to solve the problem or challenge you brought before us, how well you're able to achieve that. Take care. The news is coming up next.